Hey, what's up, YouTube? We are back once again with episode 47 of the Super Deformed Gamescast. As always, I am one of your hosts, John, aka Mr. Megative, journal tuber extraordinaire, the one who cannot be questioned according to Twitter. And with me, I have almost an entire crew tonight. The shards to my Estus flask, as I like to call them. Brandon is here tonight. Yeah, you like that, right? That's pretty good, right? I like it too. Yeah, I like that. Brandon, what's up, man?
Not much. What's going on?
And
same old.
Right. Well, you've got a lot to talk about tonight. And I got
something to talk about. Yeah.
You've got some topics to discuss tonight. And our chat is kicking already. That's good. JT, what's up, man? I'm glad you could take a break from Rocket League to join us tonight.
What am I to your Estus flask?
You are like the crossbreed Priscilla to my Elite Knight, basically. And anybody who's played Dark Souls knows what that means. So
you went way too deep for the rest of it.
I really did, yeah. Like one other person in chat knows what I'm referring to.
Okay, well, you're my painted topper to a Rocket League car. So that's
fine. Which topper am I? Which topper?
You're the orange safety cone. That's painted blue, so it's special.
Okay, all right, yeah. I'll roll with that, dude. I like that. Okay, appreciate that. And Gabe, who is not on camera because he's going to make the rest of us look bad. What's up from? Are you enjoying the Olympics?
I'm not even following the Olympics.
Brandon's like fucking half.
I don't fucking care.
Gabe's like fucking half asleep right now. He's like, dude, I don't give a shit about anything right now. I just want the fucking Olympics gone. He's like, get them out of my city.
Get this fucking Googles out of my city.
that's exactly.
I understand. Yeah.
I completely sympathize. And look who's here! Look who's back! It's After Hours Jeff, dude!
Hey,
I'm so excited that you're back.
I'm happy to be back.
After Hours Jeff, HD Jeff, he's known by many names, but never again will he be known as the host of Super Deformed Gamescast. Never again will that happen. But
there's a great movie called Never Say Never Again.
Ooh. Don't tease me. Don't tease me, bro. No, seriously, dude. Seriously, it's really awesome to have you back, man. I was really stoked to learn that you're coming back this week.
Yeah,
and we have two guests tonight. I'll introduce Bella first. Bella, why don't you tell everybody in chat who you are and a little bit about what you do?
Well, firstly, thank you very much for having me on. It's great to be here and be a part of this. So I'm Bella Rise. I'm one of the directors and editor-in-chief of Real Game Media. I guess I have what I believe to be a very rich gaming history. I've been gaming for longer than I can remember on as many platforms actually more platforms than I can probably list as on my hands as I have fingers. It's a part of my DNA, so it's a pleasure to be here to be able to talk about games with you gentlemen this evening.
I'm the same way. The only reason that I know Super Mario Brothers is the first game I ever played is because my parents told me. Like, I played it when I was like 2 years old, like old enough to hold a controller.
I just want to point out, Bella, you say gentlemen now. Give it an hour and a half.
Yeah, give me half an hour.
And we'll see how you're referring to us at that point. But it is very awesome to have you with us. Thanks for coming on tonight. And once again, the hype man, our good friend Michael Huber from Easy Allies. Dude, it is an absolute pleasure to have you back on, man. I've been waiting for this.
It is an honor to be part of your Estus flask.
You keep honors.
Like back of the box quote for you.
I love it, right? I'm actually going to put that on the back of the shirts that we're going to have coming out soon.
My dream is to be Ornstein to your Smo.
Oh, damn it! Why didn't I think of that? That is amazing.
That's way better than
That's a good one.
That's way better than what I did. Yeah, Mike is showing me up on my own show, man. That's awesome. I'll be the Ornstein to your Smoke any day, buddy.
Perfect.
Any single day. But no, it's really awesome to have you back on, man. And we've been waiting to have you back on. No, absolutely, dude. No, it's our pleasure. So Gamescom this week. There's a lot to talk about. A few topics that I want to hit. But first, as always.
Oh my god.
It's the best face ever.
I want to get into it because I know what happened. What happened? My shit froze real bad. What happened?
Oh, it's so good.
It was just the perfect freeze frame. That's fine.
Damn it, that's awesome. All right, anyway,
Carry on.
just talk about what you're fucking playing this week, Brandon. Shit.
We're going right into it, huh? All
Just
right.
go into it, man.
I was lucky enough to be given a code for Titanfall 2 by a wonderful Respawn developer. So I've been playing the shit out of some Titanfall. Everyone else will be able to play it tomorrow night, but I got the early scoops.
Nice.
What's
Yeah, I
up,
went
man?
to full disclosure. I went to Respawn with Ben, so we got to play it there as well.
Yeah.
Are you guys allowed to talk about it?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, like they've been they've been letting you stream it or whatever. I mean, it's an open beta, so whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But all right, so let's get right into it. I like it. I mean, it's still Titanfall, right? So like, it's still the core of Titanfall is still there, and it's still a great idea, and it's still fun. But they've made a lot of changes, like core changes to specific mechanics, and so like people who put in substantial amounts of hours into the first game will instantly notice that, like, as soon as as soon as you basically start moving and jumping, you'll be like, oh, this feels a little bit different. But so the biggest thing that they changed is definitely the way the Titans work. They feel like they have a different role in the game entirely. And right now, this beta only has 2 modes. It has pilots versus pilots, which is just no Titans, no AI grunts. It's just 8 versus 8 players. And then it also has the bounty hunt mode, which is a new mode, and that one's 5 versus 5, and that does have AI grunts. And basically, you're trying to every kill you get bonus money, and then it goes in waves, kind of like a horde mode. And then at the end of the horde wave, you can deposit your bonus money, and it's like first to $6,000 wins or whatever.
But it's crazy because if you die with like your money or whatever, you lose so much.
Half of it, you lose half
Yeah.
straight up. Yeah. So there's like this nice risk reward between like, oh, if I fight this pilot, I might get a huge bounty, but I might just lose half of what I have. So sometimes it creates an interesting dynamic of, do I fight or do I run away? And if you have no money on you, there's really no reason not to fight. So it's interesting that way. But the maps are very different in general from the way that they were constructed in Titanfall 1. More wide open. The first time I played the 1 map, I was like, I got them in there, and I was like, I'm looking at this wide open field, and I'm like, this looks like Battlefield. Like it didn't feel like like Titanfall 1 is Call of Duty with mechs, because it's got those like small closed corridors and like lots of buildings and stuff. But like, one map felt more, there's wide open spaces, which obviously is meant to encourage the new grappling hook, which is a huge, the biggest change probably.
Yeah.
And that lets you, gain momentum. You can swing yourself up over ledges. Lets you basically it lets you grab onto mechs and lets you rodeo them.
It took me a minute to get used to the grappling hook. It doesn't control like you think it would.
Yeah.
It's like you start out super slow, and you really have to use the physics of like, when do I jump and like get the most momentum with it.
I saw someone on NeoGAF compare it to Tribes.
Yeah.
That's
in
an
the way that
interesting
it was all about like building momentum, and you can actually shoot the grappling hook at the ground, and then it'll pull you towards the ground, and you can ski across the ground and gain momentum that way. So there is like a lot of different things you can do with the grappling hook, and you don't automatically have it. It's like a perk that you have to like pick, and you have to choose.
You can choose between that and there's like the stim pack. Did you get the stim pack?
Yeah. No, I just grappling hook only. I haven't even played enough to unlock the stim yet. I think you get that like level 7. I'm only level
Yeah, it was
6.
crazy. The stim pack, because I was thinking like, why would you ever change the grappling hook? Like, why would you ever use anything else? Because you can rodeo the Titans, and you have so much mobility. But then someone like popped a stim pack in front of me, and it's like Raiden from Metal Gear. Like they're just like, it's so fast.
Yeah. And stim was in Titanfall 1 too, and they changed the way stim works. So it's like it seems it's more situated. Whereas it's hard to explain unless you've played a ton of it. But
see, I feel like a total dunce in this conversation because I never played Titanfall at all.
yeah, and so if you're jumping, you missed out. You missed out on something really good. But if you've never played it, you can still just jump right into Titanfall 2, and it's like you won't even know what's different. It'll just it's just And
is
so
the beta? I'm sorry, Brandon. Go ahead, man. No. Go ahead.
I had nothing. Go.
No, I was just gonna say, is the beta? Is it multiplayer also, or do you get like any taste of the campaign at all?
There's no taste of the campaign. There's just a training mode that lets you run through like a circuit course, and then there's 2 multiplayer modes on 2 different maps.
So as somebody who is completely uneducated on Titanfall, like completely, and this is for anybody on the panel, like, does the multiplayer in Titanfall 2 does it incorporate any kind of progression system at all, like character customization or loadouts, or like how does that all work?
Same as Call of Duty.
Okay.
Like, what would you expect from the guys who created Call of Duty? So,
I guess so. Yeah. No, I was just wondering.
It's right down the same line. Yeah.
So when does the beta open up for everybody? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow night at I think like 5 or 6 Pacific time, somewhere around there. Tomorrow night. Yeah, I think you can preload it starting tonight, but the servers don't go up till.
I read 9 a.m. Pacific or something like that. So,
Okay, in the morning.
I don't know.
Even better.
So it sounds like you're pretty high on it, dude.
I mean, it's Titanfall, and I loved the first one, and there's still so much to love about this one.
So
but I'm a little apprehensive about certain changes. And
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
You have to realize, like, it is just an alpha, and like, obviously the game will change fundamentally as you unlock new stuff, and so like you're starting at level 1, so it's the most basic gear. They don't give you all the Titans in this one. They don't, like they're limiting your options, so you can't judge the full game off of this little alpha. But I mean, like I said, the maps are fundamentally different because they want to encourage the grappling hook, but that discourages the chaining of wall running. So like, I don't know if you've seen YouTube YouTube montages. People got crazy good at wall running in Titanfall 1, and they could never touch the ground. They would just run around in circles around the entire map and never touch the ground. They would do fucking crazy, flying up 300 feet in the air and then wall run around the map. Like, I mean,
that's
like
awesome.
People would eject, people would blow up their Titans on purpose so that they could get flown up into the air, and then that way they would have all the momentum to start wall running.
So basically a bunch of divas running around.
A bunch of Lucios.
Okay,
yeah.
Lucio. All right, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes a little more sense.
But if they combine Lucio and Diva into one character, it would be Titanfall.
I like how we're actually making Overwatch references.
I mean, straight up. I mean, Diva has a mech. She gets out of her mech. She can call back down her mech, and Lucio can wall run. That's Titanfall.
That's awesome. So Titanfall 2. What else are you playing this week? Is that pretty much it? Like Overwatch and Titanfall.
So Overwatch Season 1 ended yesterday.
Oh, you got your golden gun, dude.
I did. So I hit 300 wins the day before, and I got a golden gun and hook for Roadhog. And then the next day I tried. My season high was 61, and so they give you end of season rewards based on the highest tier of rank you achieved. So the highest tier of rewards was 65. So I grinded all day yesterday to try to get up to 65 right before the server closed, and I hit it 3 hours before the end of the season.
So I got my
second golden gun. I bought one for Junkrat because.
Man, what happened to Brandon while I've been gone?
Yeah, right?
No, quite a bit has changed. Quite a bit has happened, Jeff, since you've been gone.
I've got 270 hours in Overwatch, and that game came out
that is
3 months ago.
My Rocket League time laughs at that.
You got 3 hours.
I believe it, but dude, I play a lot of games. Like I beat Star Ocean 5 in between this. I mean, like I did.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So like
I am also sorry.
I'm literally on PlayStation Network every single night, and I play multiple games a week because I just kind of burn through some games. I just burn through. I see Brandon on Overwatch every night.
And my name starts with A, so I'm always at the top.
So I'm the first thing he sees. He's like the first thing I see, and it's always Overwatch. That's all I ever.
I do play like.
This dude got a code for Titanfall 2, and then I look at his PSN name.
He's playing Overwatch.
And
well,
he's playing Overwatch.
To be fair, I got the Titanfall code so early that when I logged onto the servers and clicked matchmaking, there was only 12 people searching, or there was only 7 people searching for a game, and the lowest mode is 5v5, so I couldn't even get like a single game.
To be fair to Brandon, like on Bloodborne, for example, between 3 characters, I have a total of almost 400 hours.
Whoa!
So,
I beat Bloodborne once and I was done. That was good enough for me. 30 hours and done.
Oh, so good. Oh, it's so
it was good for 30 hours when I beat it. And I'm done.
Oh, it's fucking crazy. Anyway, all right, let's move on. You've talked enough, Brandon, about
That's all I played.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Jeff. I'll tell you this much: every day or every week, I'm sorry, for like the past 2 months, I've been like, Brandon, what do you play? Never mind.
Starts with
Never mind. Yeah, I know exactly what you've been playing. JT, what are you playing this week?
Well, first of all, happy birthday, Mike.
Hey, thanks, man.
Oh, happy birthday!
Oh, what?
Oh,
Happy birthday!
It was yesterday. It was
Yesterday, but
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. Since I didn't get to talk about No Man's Sky last week,
Let's hear it, man.
I've been
Let's hear it.
playing a lot of that. I've been, kind of traveling out and about, so I haven't gotten to play it as much as other people have. I'm not very far at all, but it's been fun. I mean, like, I'm sure you guys have heard everything about it so far, so I'm not going to dive into it. But me personally, it's about what I expected. I wasn't thinking it was going to be anything crazy like some people were. The expectations for that game was just astronomical, pun intended. But I'm enjoying what there is so far. It kind of feels like Far Cry 4 in space to me a little bit. It's just like, you go and you have like so much to do, and there's not much more than that. But if you really like the core stuff, then that's cool. So I've been enjoying it. Like I don't have any like outstanding problems aside from the field of vision on PS4. I feel like that's kind of restrictive sometimes, but other than that, yeah, it's fun. And of course,
I'm gonna hijack it here because I've been playing No Man's Sky too.
Go for it, man.
Go for it, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with JT. I went in with very tempered expectations, and I understand all of its problems, but to me, it doesn't really make a difference. The core stuff that's there is pretty much what I was expecting, and it's just a game I relax with. Similar to how I play Minecraft. I put like a couple hundred hours into Minecraft just doing nothing.
Speaking of Minecraft, I've been playing a lot of that lately, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what?
No Man's Sky made me want to play Minecraft because it's kind of like a deeper game. It's got like you can explore a lot in that game, and like I feel like Minecraft's almost way more different than No Man's Sky is, because you have a core, you begin to recognize the systems in No Man's Sky very easily. Like you have, this is the scales that was on the animal from 2 planets ago, but instead of on a chicken-looking guy, it's on a dinosaur-looking guy. Like it's something similar to that. But like Minecraft, it's like, this is a new cave. This is a new cave layout. Like, let's find the dinosaur. I don't know, that's fun.
And the caves are crazy. Like you go down for like an hour, and then you find an underground abandoned like minecart shaft, and then you go through that, and then you find like an ocean of lava, and then it's ridiculous.
I've been dying in lava way too much. I feel weird talking about Minecraft of all things, because it's been out forever, and like I feel like been there, done that kind of deal. But like it's new to me, and I'm like, I can see why people liked this now. Like I'm playing in survival mode, so it's like you have to manage your health and eat and stuff, and like go back to your base at night and not die. But the core aspects of like going out on a run to like get more minerals or whatever you're needing for what you want to build is really, really cool. The core gameplay loop is really solid.
So I'll tell you this much. I want to cut in here real quick because I've got a lot of hands-on time with No Man's Sky as well, and I found this huge. I was on this planet that I named SDGC Prime, and like no shit. Yeah, right, yeah. But hey, dude, we're immortal now. We're somewhere out there. Somebody's gonna find that planet and go, what the freaking hell is SDGC? But
who's Harambe?
Yeah, there's so many Harambe planets. But like I found this huge amount of gold just jutting out of the ground, and I was like, there's no way I'm not gonna mine this. And so I sat there for an hour just mining this gold and carting it back to my ship because I eventually ran out of space. And then I got to the bottom of this like gold shaft, and I finally hit dirt, and I was like, you know what? I want to keep going just to see what happens. So I started mining down further and further and further, and after about 10 minutes, I fell through the world. Like I fell through the world, and I fell down, 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 and I kept falling, but I didn't die. So like I saw the rest of the world just kind of falling away, like rising up into the distance away.
Or something?
Yeah, dude, and I was like, so I sat there, dude, like it was surreal. Like I was like, full disclosure, really drunk when this happened because I'd been drinking, a lot of bourbon that night. So I sat there and I like turned the lights off, and like the weirdest, like the world started spinning, so it got real trippy. And I just sat there for 10 minutes and I just like looked at it.
Sounds like
I just like contemplated life. It was so surreal, and then like I snapped out of it, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" And as I had to restart the game, and the great irony is that when I restarted the game, that huge gold mound was back, and I was like, "No, I'm done. I'm not going to do that again. So that was the last time. That was the last time I played the No Man's Sky.
They put out a new patch today, I think.
I saw that actually when I booted up my PS4 out of safe mode today. I saw a patch. I have no idea what it does though.
Just stability.
It fixes crashes. Yeah.
It needs it too because damn, that game crashes more than any other game I have ever played in my life.
I think the game that I've played that has crashed the most was Nuclear Throne on PS4.
I never had that crash on me once.
Oh, dude,
Not once.
it crashed all
That's
the
some
fucking
crazy
time.
error.
Remember when console games didn't crash?
I remember that, dude. Yeah, back when
Yeah.
Super Nintendo when games
Yeah.
didn't crash. It was pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So, Gabe, I see you're back. What are you playing this week?
Outside of No Man's Sky, I've been trying to put a dent in my Steam backlog, so I've been playing a little bit of everything. I've played Brutal Legend, Sunless Sea.
I love Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend
Personal
is
favorite of mine.
that's a good game.
Yeah, except for those stage battles. I
was
really
not a
fan
fan of a
those.
real-time
I
strategy.
like stage battles. Fight
No.
me.
I'll fight you all day. on that.
Yeah, there's-
I mean, like they weren't amazing, but they weren't as bad as people say.
I just want to. No, I don't want to hijack Gabe. Go ahead, Gabe.
no, it's okay. No, you want to say something? No.
I just want to say, like, all I wanted out of Brutal Legend was just, like, to play as Eddie Riggs and hop in my awesome fucking rock and roll car and drive around the countryside and fighting huge metal demons throwing
There
up
was
devil
still-
horns at me.
There was still plenty of that.
Yeah, but none of it was connected to the game. It was just like this activity you did outside of freaking stage battles.
That's not wrong. That's not wrong.
You know, like, and that's just not what
I mean, there was a lot of side activity. If you wanted to just like roam the open world and do checklist tasks.
Yeah, but
while
you would
listening
never.
to heavy
But the
metal,
thing
you
is
could.
that you would never advance in the game if you did that. Like
I mean-
to advance in the game, you had to do these awful, frankly awful stage battles.
They
I
weren't
hated
awful.
them.
They
I hated
weren't
them.
awful.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Don't
forget on Twitter, man, on Twitter.
Most people do hate them. So
I cannot be questioned. Remember, according to Twitter, I cannot be questioned. So this is ironclad. You can't
All
fight
right.
me on this.
All right, that's enough back and forth. Get
All
back.
right. Gabe,
Okay,
what else you playing?
YouTuber. Shut up.
Sorry.
Let's see. Now for my game of the week, I decided to play Quake 4. I don't know. No.
I'm sorry.
Quake.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. I can see
Quake
that.
4 doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Raven too. Raven made some great games last gen, but
Yeah, having you played the Quake 1 and 2 back to back, yeah, it's not even close.
not even close.
Too slow for my taste.
Yeah, it's super slow. Yeah.
It's like Doom. It's like a Doom mod in a Quake universe. So
Yeah.
It's like Doom if Doom was really terrible.
yeah.
It is worse than Doom 3, yes.
Yeah.
It's like a Doom pre-mod, but set in the Quake universe. It's so weird. Oh.
Yeah. The only
that's it.
thing it's memorable for is just that one, the Strogification scene. Everything else in that game is completely worthless.
We'll see. I'll see. That's it.
Okay. And Jeff, what about you, buddy?
I think I already it was just No Man's Sky. so I think
No
we're
Man's
good.
Sky. Okay. So, all right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well,
No,
you
that's
play-
not true.
Real life hockey.
Oh boy.
You guys are going to be really sad. I started Chrono Trigger and played 2 hours and stopped.
Motherfucker.
God, what is?
How far did you get? How far did you get in 2 hours?
I got to okay, spoiler warning for a game that's like 20 years
Fucking
old.
21 years old.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's everybody.
I got
Close your
to-
virgin ears if you've never heard this.
I got to the future part.
The future part.
2300.
2300.
Yeah, you do there's a race you do kind of
Oh
thing.
wow, you got there in 2 hours on your first playthrough.
Or maybe 3. The game was fine. I just can't use my 3DS. I can't. My hands cramp up. I can't play on that thing.
Well,
So-
you know what, Jeff? It's Chrono Trigger, so why don't you suck it up?
I mean, basically.
Yeah.
seriously.
All right.
Get a grip.
The best way, yeah, really get a grip. The best
Mike-
way to
No,
play
ser-
Chrono
no,
Trigger is
seriously, get a grip.
on a TV with a comfortable controller and a nice relaxed chair. But
Yeah, lay down on the couch or something. Mike, I'm just
people like their
afraid.
portability. So.
Mike is over here like these guys are driving me crazy.
Hey,
Right.
don't get bullied. Play what you want to play. Don't
Thanks,
let them
Mike. I will.
Well,
Yeah.
look, Mike, on this podcast, we routinely make fun of each other for our gaming choices, and if we can't do that, then damn it, what's the point of the podcast? We can't insult each other over video games.
Get it together, play Chrono Trigger, damn it.
So Jeff, is that kind of what, just kind of No Man's Sky and Chrono Trigger for you?
Yeah, basically.
I sincerely hope you get back to it.
It was really good. I was really enjoying it.
John looks like a Division character.
Who said that? Who said that?
Who was that? Bet that beanie. Sam Tolbert in chat says, bet that beanie gives 30% armor. Okay, all right, listen up, motherfuckers in chat. Okay, let me explain something. All right, it is hot as shit outside right now, so I turned the AC down in my basement, which is where I'm at, down to like freaking probably way too fucking low, because now I'm freezing my ass off down here. Okay, so that's why I wear a beanie. But also, I've worn a beanie every single podcast, so it's fucking iconic now. Okay? So I can't get rid of the beanie. It's true. I can't get rid of the beanie. Iconic. It's not Ubisoft. It's not Watch Dogs 2 freaking Hackerhead iconic, but it's pretty iconic for this podcast. So the beanie's not going anywhere. And yes, it does give me 30% armor. So suck it.
The beanie's canon.
It is canon. That's a great, and you know, it's a great segue. Mike, what are you playing this week?
Older game. I went back and I played Banner Saga.
Okay.
Ooh.
Banner Saga 1. I'd never played it, and I love Vikings and I love tactical RPGs. And 2 just came out, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back and play the first one, and oh my god, I love that game. I beat it in like 3 days. I couldn't stop playing. Haven't like been addicted to a game like that since Uncharted 4, and I just couldn't stop. It's like Oregon Trail with Vikings.
That's a hell of a way
to start.
That is a good description. That is a great description.
It is such a great game.
So, did you say Banner Saga 1 or 2, Mike? I missed that.
1. And,
okay, gotcha.
You can import your save into 2. So hopefully this weekend I'll get 2 going.
Have you not played 2 yet?
Never played it. Had never played 1.
Dude, it's really good.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I will say, like, one of those. I'm glad you're playing Banner Saga 1 because Banner Saga 2 is one of those games where, like, if you didn't play the first one, you're lost.
Yeah.
Oh, they throw you right in the deep end, like Hotline Miami 2 or something like that.
Yes, that absolutely. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it.
Yeah, it's a really fun game. Just like all the choices seem super meaningful. You always feel like you're starving for supplies. You always feel outnumbered and overwhelmed. There's just like so much despair in the game, but it also looks really beautiful, and the music is super good. It's like Austin Wintory. He does a bunch of good soundtracks. So it was a hell of a game.
It's got like a real cool kind of like Game of Thrones meets Vikings vibe to it.
Yes.
You know,
totally.
That's like the best way I could possibly describe it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, hey, somebody got their Thor in my Game of Thrones, and it's pretty awesome. Like, I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like playing the Banner Saga makes me like it really makes me miss Final Fantasy Tactics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the combat is so fun. And
that
like,
is. Yeah.
There's such an emphasis on like leveling up your characters, like it actually means something, as opposed to just like grinding numbers. Because like each character can only get to level 5, so each time they level up, it's like a really big deal. But you spend the same currency on food and supplies as you do on leveling up people. So it's like a choice of, well, do I get food so I can survive on the road? Or do I level up my character to make him strong? Do I level up one guy really high, or level up a couple guys like medium? Just great game. Love it.
I'm still waiting for that to come out on Vita. I think that'll be perfect.
I don't think it's supposed to. Is it?
Yeah,
it's supposed to.
They originally weren't going to bring it out for it, and then Sony's like, hold on, we'll take care of it, and then they've been working on it ever since because they were struggling with the port for some reason.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was like on iOS, right? You can play it on iPad?
Oh, yeah. No, I can absolutely see that as being an iOS.
That's crazy.
I mean, hell, you can play freaking XCOM on iOS.
They put Jade Empire out on iOS yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw that. That was random.
I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy VII is on iOS.
Yeah, it is. I have it on my
Dragon
iPhone.
Quest. Yeah.
I played Final Fantasy VII on my iPhone.
Yeah.
Yep. I really enjoy playing Final Fantasy VII snowboarding on my Apple console here. It's really, really amazing.
The authentic experience.
It really. Mike, what else are you playing this week, man?
New Hearthstone
never
Adventure
made,
just
and
came out, so hop back into that. But I'd say the biggest one would probably be World of Warcraft, because the expansion's coming out.
Ah, okay.
So, before everyone's like, oh, World of Warcraft's stupid.
I was going to say that.
Like, since I've been playing since launch, I only play the new expansion for like a month. So basically, I'm committed to World of Warcraft now for every new expansion for about a month, basically until the game dies. So,
Which will be never.
I'm just so committed, and I'm waiting for when that game finally does kick the bucket, because there's really nothing like an MMO that you've been dedicated to going offline.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah.
Like Star Wars Galaxies was one that I went offline with. It's super emotional. Everyone just gathers in a area, and I can only imagine what World of Warcraft will be when it ends. Some massive world battle, Alliance versus Horde.
Look, I mean, you've got to imagine that it's gonna. I mean, it's gonna come to an end sometime, right? It's nothing lasts forever.
It's been so long.
And I mean, so that game has been around. I mean, I think it launched in what, 2003?
Yeah.
2003. 4. So we're going on what, 13 years? Almost 13 years of World of Warcraft, right?
Crazy.
It's got to end at some point, and I just hope. I'm not an MMO guy. That's no secret. But I hope that Blizzard goes out with just a fucking bang. Have a giant meteor come in game and have it tracking towards the planet. And just have everybody have dancing in the fields as the meteor's coming. Dude, that would be amazing. I would create. I might, if I find out they're doing this huge end game event, I may roll a character just to be there for it.
They're doing this. They came out with a free patch before the expansion right now, which got me back into it. It's a 3-week thing. It's the Legion has invaded, so all over the world there's these crazy demon invaders, and 150 people roll up and take down these massive beasts.
I just thinking about that world ending. I just have these mental pictures of orcs and night elves having guilt-free sex. Alliance guys are snorting coke off a table. Fuck it, the world's ending. Why not? All kinds of crazy shit going down. I really hope whatever does happen with World of Warcraft, I really hope that Blizzard makes it incredibly entertaining. I hope it's awesome. And to be honest with you, dude, I don't know, does anybody here know what the subscriber numbers for World of Warcraft are right now?
7 million last I heard.
Mm-hmm.
That's
still really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
That's still a lot of people. That's small countries.
The game is 12 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, after 12 years, 7 million people is still pretty damn impressive.
Yeah. It'll probably get to 9 or something with the expansion, I think.
Why do you think it's lasted this long?
Because it's the best MMO.
It's the best.
Blizzard.
There's just.
It's Blizzard, dude. People will still be playing Overwatch in 10 years. And people are still playing Warcraft 2. People are still playing StarCraft 1.
So I know how to make games.
Yeah, but first and foremost, it's Blizzard. Second, I love MMOs, but every time I've tried to get into an MMO, whether it's shit like Matrix Online, Age of Conan, or even better ones like WildStar or Warhammer Online, it takes so long for a MMO to get good, to get the support, to get the end game content, and I just feel like Warcraft had such a big fan base and such a big head start that people weren't willing to jump ship.
Yeah.
So every time I would get into an MMO, and right when I would sink my teeth in and it would get great, the community would just leave and die.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
I remember the days of copycat MMOs left and right, and that was happening all the time back then.
So I want to point. There's something interesting going on with Gabe's camera, and I'm trying to figure out what this is. So
it's a live stream of his dog.
See his dog with a red dot on it. Is Gabe about to assassinate his dog? Is that a hair trigger? What is that? Gabe.
He's holed up in a mountain somewhere.
What is going on in Gabe's picture? At first I was is that a cyborg dog? What is that? The picture's too small. No, I can't tell what's happening. Okay.
It's really there. It is.
There you go. All right.
Kill your dog.
Oh, this is amazing. All right, cool. Mike, thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude. Okay, Bella, we'll finish up with you, and then we'll launch into our topic for the night. Bella, what are you playing this week?
Actually, if this is a question that if you had to ask me 2 months ago, and you told me my answer to this would be what it is, I would tell you were full of shit. But ironically, the majority of my time has been spent this week playing Destiny.
Oh, really?
Nice.
All right.
I've got something to say about that actually, but go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
I had my stint back on Destiny a while ago, and I kind of just had my fill of it, and I ended up moving on to a lot of different games. And recently, I've actually come back to it. I've maxed out one character I'm working through on my Titan, trying to get it back up to level 40, 335 light. So, I'm going through that grind right now. But outside of that, on the Xbox, I'm also playing a bit of GTA 5 still, because I just intermittently never stop playing GTA 5.
Yeah, it's GTA 5.
Fallout 4. Well, exactly.
Got the poster hanging on.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So Fallout 4, I'm up to like hour 450, I think, in Fallout 4, and I still haven't even touched the Bar Harbor DLC. So, every now and again, just every couple of nights, I'll jump in and do a little bit more on that. But on the Xbox, one of the things that we've been doing a lot lately with my clan is we've been doing these like family game nights, so Trivial Pursuit, Monopoly, and stuff like that, to try and get partners involved. So instead of it just being like the guys online, because I guess I consider myself one of the guys. Instead of it being us guys online and the partners sort of are you listening to me? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Did you do the washing in the background? We're actually getting them in and playing with us and Trivial Pursuit and just getting them to know everybody and getting them a little bit more involved so they feel like they're a part of the group as well, which is working really well. On the PlayStation 4, I've been playing Resident Evil 5, Overwatch, Rocket League, and
Please tell me about Resident Evil 5. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so look, it's Resident Evil 5. It's one of those games that you can default back to and you can play over and over and over and over again.
Are you playing with a buddy co-op?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
I am, yeah. So I have a couple of friends that I've been through it with now, and it never gets old.
Hell yeah.
I mean, especially that button. Come on, Shiva,
every time,
Shiva.
spam it.
Exactly.
Every
It's
time.
fantastic.
It's one of my favorite. Resident Evil is my favorite game of all time. And I just love 5's story one of the most, just with Wesker and everything. It's fucking
complete global.
Yeah, it's really twisted and it's dark and it's corny and the way that they have to turn their backs to a door when they're gonna walk through it. It's like, what even is with that? But yeah, it's fantastic.
7 minutes,
but
Chris.
I finally...
7 minutes is all the time I have to play with you. Why 7? Why not 5? Why not 6? I don't who decided on 7?
Because that was the best balance for the boss.
Listen, guys, I'm meeting somebody at a barista at 5 o'clock. I've got 7 minutes. I've got to. Okay, if we don't get this done in 7 minutes, I'm Audi 5000. Okay, so let's get this done. I don't know. It's that classic Resident Evil dialogue. I don't know.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And it's something that you just come to expect from it, and if you don't get it, you're kind of disappointed because you kind of go to games like that for that cheese factor that you can only get there, and it's just so enjoyable.
Was way too serious. There just wasn't the cheese.
Yeah, they really took themselves out of that pocket that they really fitted in well. And anyway, Resident Evil 5, can't beat it. Highly recommend it. Yeah. So yeah, Overwatch, Rocket League on PlayStation. Well, I mean, I have it on 3 platforms, but I've only been playing it on PlayStation this week.
Nice.
And I finally ended up finding the time to clock Uncharted 4.
Wait, whoa. You haven't, you hadn't finished it yet?
That's a long game.
No, I hadn't. I went to many a time, and I didn't want it to end. So I just went, you know what, I'm going to play this another day. I'm going to play this another day. I'm going to play this another day. And then eventually I was like, no, it has to happen. It has to end.
It's a good ending.
So,
it's really unfortunate that you kept kind of putting off 2016's Game of the Year. Really,
Well,
really,
it's one of those things. Like that's why it's the game of the year, right? Because it's such a great game, and the story is so immersive, and it's an amazing wrap up to what's been a legacy in that area. You know, it's one of those games that you just, I don't know. For me, I didn't feel like I could just pick it up and play it and put it down and be like, okay, that was great. It was one of those things that it felt like I needed to draw it out because I knew it was the end, and I didn't want to get to the end.
You know, I want to caveat something that I just said. Uncharted 4 is a runner-up for Game of the Year. Everybody on this podcast and everybody in chat knows that Dark Souls 3 is the actual Game of the Year.
Dark Souls, it's in my top 5.
It's at the top.
Dude, there's big news coming for Dark Souls 3. You see that?
Top 5.
August 24th, baby.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that T-shirts. Those T-shirts.
Those T-shirts are like. I'm not going to talk about the T-shirts. Those are those are the most video gaming things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like that's and what a troll that was for like from or no, I'm sorry, it was Bandai Namco. They were like, we got this big announcement coming, guys. Like dude, and I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my god, Dark Souls. I was like Demon Souls remaster. Demon Souls remaster, right?
Didn't they say it wasn't game related and everyone freaked out anyway?
No, they didn't say that. They just said it was just hey, we got, and then they'd come up with those awful meme-filled shirts. It was like that movie spoiler shirt. Only it was just like get good, you know, and it had like you know, might be a mimic or some stupid shit like that. And I'm like, this is the worst.
Every chest in Dark Souls 3 is a mimic.
Yeah, it's dude. They went. I'll give you that. They really went overboard with the mimics.
It's every chest.
I got to the point where I started whacking every single chest. Or
there's like I think there was 2 mimic chests in one room.
It was pretty bad. I won't lie. And like, not a lot of people know this, but you can tell a mimic chest without hitting it. Like one the chain shape, but 2, you can see it breathing if you just stand there and look at it.
Okay.
You can you'll see its mouth open a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, you tricky bastard. Okay, yeah, you're not gonna get me. But okay. Also, sorry, Bella, I totally hijacked you. But anyway, keep going.
It's totally fine. So I guess to wrap up and not to take too much other time, on PC, I've obviously been playing a lot of Hotel Blind because I'm a part of the studio that's putting that game together, and I've been recording the last lot of voice acting for that lately, so I've been going back through that and playing that on PC. Recently got myself a PS Vita and playing Borderlands 2 on it and loving it. I don't care what anybody says. Borderlands 2, PS Vita, bomb, loving it. And to wrap it up on mobile, yes, I have been playing Pokemon Go. I don't care what anyone else says. It just once you start, you literally have to catch them all. Like you have to catch them all. It's just how it is.
Right now, JT's over there like, can we bring Bella on the show permanently?
Yeah, dude. Like she's checking all the boxes right there.
Yeah.
Vita, Rocket League, like all these awesome games.
She did her research for sure.
John, did you click on Mike's screen? Because he's the only one that's showing up.
Is Mike the only one that's showing up?
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know, dude. That's really weird.
Did you click on it? Did you click on his portrait? And
Mr. Robot.
Yeah, it's really, no, I didn't click on his portrait, dude. No,
there's a Mr. Robot game out right now on iOS.
Telltale.
Is it from Telltale?
Yeah.
Is it like an actual game?
I don't know that.
Yeah, Mr.
It's
Robot.
like this weird, like texting, like I forget what the name. It's like Lifeline or something. That game that came out, like you can like talk to this person. It's like that, isn't it, Mike?
I haven't played it yet.
Okay, because like I'm just looking at the screenshots on the Apple Store, and it's kind of what it reminded me of. It's like you respond to people's like fake text and stuff like that. I actually have a question for Bella though.
Hold on, real quick. By the way, I just want to point out that people are actually right. Like it's like Mike is the only. Whoa, this background noise.
Yeah, it's the Olympics in the background.
Oh, okay, right.
What? No.
I thought someone was dying.
I am renaming this podcast the Super Deformed Hubercast because like it's all focused on
the camera. Yeah, it's started on.
This is awesome. I love it. Anyway, JT, you had a question for Bella.
Yeah, so you were talking about like Trivial Pursuit, and you have like game nights and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Have you tried out like the Jackbox Party Pack games at all?
I haven't yet, but I'm actually keen to do that. We've been discussing it as a group, of us who actually play these things together about going in and getting that because we all do the game sharing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something that we're considering doing as well. It's something that we didn't actually anticipate that we would move into because, obviously you have your groups that you play Destiny with or that you play The Division with or whatever game it might be. You have your cliques, yeah?
Yeah.
But in the background of those cliques, there's families, there's partners, there's girlfriends and boyfriends and children. And so it kind of got to the point where we all know each other so well. Like, you guys know how it is, right? You know each other's wives' names and the kids' names and the name of the dog and the cat and the next door neighbor who screams, and we all know each other that intimately that it gets to the point where you're like, right, so how do we take ourselves out of this space and not just be underneath a headset in our own worlds and actually involve our families in it so that it's not well, he or she is off playing video games and they're completely disclosed from us. So our way of doing that is having these nights once a week where we have these family games that we play and the partners come in and the girls jump on the mic and we all have a bit of a chat and I pretend that I like handbags and shoes and yeah, it's great. But and then we have these other nights where we have movie nights. So we'll all jump on Netflix or whatever it might be and have our headsets on and eat popcorn and just choose the corniest movies we can think of. Last week we watched Dodgeball. And
I love
so it's just a
Dodgeball.
great way. Yeah. Dodge, duck, dive, dodge.
Dodge, duck,
Dip, duck,
dive,
dodge.
and dodge.
That's it, the 5 Ds dodgeball.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Dodge a ball, yeah. It's just a great way to be able to take your gaming experience to that next level where, yeah, we can have our own time and it's our own thing and, yeah, leave me alone because I'm in my gaming universe, but also be able to integrate the family into it a little bit too so that they're not feeling completely segregated from the experience.
Yeah, that is really cool. That you're like including other people, because like whenever I'm gaming and stuff, like my girlfriend, she's just like, I'm just sitting there, whatever. So that's a really cool idea.
I feel like you blew JT away with your answer, by the way, Bella. JT's
well,
like,
yeah, I mean, just like Jackbox is like the perfect thing for that though. Like the games are honestly, you will be laughing hysterically. The questions and then like the answers that people will have, you can totally take it to the next level, and it's hilarious. So definitely want to hear what you have to say about Jackbox whenever you guys try that out.
I want to.
Yeah, I'll make sure I try that soon. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to point out real quick, Mike. Even though you're turning your camera off, like you're still showing up, like only you on the broadcast. I think something is.
It's off.
Well, now I can't see you at all. Something
No,
weird
it's
going on.
fine. It's just John.
No, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But okay. Anyway, so I
computer over there.
You've been hacked.
Yeah, dude. I probably have. Yeah. This is weird, dude. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have talked all that shit about No Man's Sky. Oh, it just switched to me now. Okay, so there we go.
But just to wrap up from the tail end of that question that I was just asked, for anybody who is listening to that and thinking, you know what, this is a great way that I might be able to integrate my family or my girlfriend or my boyfriend into being interested in gaming. These games are friggin' fantastic for that. There's minimal interaction with the controller. And one of the biggest concerns that a lot of people have who don't play games on consoles is that controller and not understanding it. It's like a freak of nature to them. So having a game like that where there's minimal controller interaction, get them in on that, where they can have that fun, like Trivial Pursuit, Monopoly, games that you all played as kids. It's a great segue to get them just used to the gaming console, used to the controller, used to community, and you can build from there. You really can. I've seen it happen.
And you can even use your smartphone for the Jackbox stuff, so it's even better. Like that's way more accessible. But actually, speaking of significant others getting into gaming, No Man's Sky.
Yeah, speak on this.
No Man's Sky has been huge in this household. My girlfriend is not a gamer at all, and she was hyped for this game whenever Sean Murray first went on. What was that? The Late Show with Stephen Colbert? Was that it? It was like a year or two ago, and so it was like a long time coming. And so like she's been hyped for this game ever since. She's like, wow, that looks really cool. Finally came out, and she's got her own PSN profile now, and she's been like wanting to play it actively. I'm like, oh yeah,
this is how it starts.
This is where it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You need to move around to Portal 2 after this. Or no. Start with
You
Portal.
know you're
and
gonna
then
have to
Portal
buy
1.
another console and another TV.
Good.
let's hope not. I mean,
Look, if that's the worst that comes out of it, if you actually have to go out and buy another console and another TV to enable you to be able to game more because your girlfriend's now also immersed in the world, that's a great outcome.
Yeah, it is. I can just game on Vita though, while she's doing her thing. No big deal.
No. TV comes out.
That won't do.
All right, so
That's great when you're on the side, but yeah.
So I kind of jump into what I wanted us to talk about tonight. Now that we've actually, you know what? I'll say real quick what I've been playing this week. I've been playing a lot of Destiny this week because I'm trying to tick off those moments of triumph year 2.
Yay!
I'm halfway through. If I get them, great. If I don't, whatever. But I'm just trying to get it done. I stopped playing No Man's Sky last week because I think it's a great game, but after spending about 30 hours in that world, in that universe, more accurately, I completely see and understand some of the criticisms that people have about it. It's all valid. It's all very valid. It's one of those games where, and I said this last night on the Basement Radio Arcade, but it's one of those games where I really saw the magic of No Man's Sky when my son, he's 8 years old, he came downstairs and he saw me playing and he says, "Daddy, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm just, I'm exploring space," and he wanted to try it. So I landed on a planet, he wandered around for a minute, and he got in the ship and he, freaking blasted off into outer space. And the look of wonder on his face as he was doing that, when as he was taking off from the planet, and when he reached outer space and he saw the meteors flying around and all these worlds you can visit, like you could see it all over his face. He was just blown away, and so I just kind of backed away and let him do his thing. And that's really kind of where I saw the magic of No Man's Sky is that sense of wonder. It was really interesting to see it on his face. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was actually my favorite moment of the game. Not anything I did, but watching him play and seeing his reaction to it, I thought was really cool. But aside from that, just I play Dark Souls every week, so I won't touch too much on that. But
what's your favorite Souls boss fight?
Oh God. Okay. So
I
I've
like
got 3.
Sir Alone.
That's a tough one.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this, Mike. Does Demon Souls count?
Demon Souls counts, and
Okay.
Bloodborne counts.
Okay. I've got 5 then. I got 5.
Holy crap.
Abusing the question.
Okay, here we
That
go.
was
So
really gonna be a short
this
answer.
is super easy answers. But I've got 5. Flame Lurker. I would have to. So Flame Lurker, Ornstein Smoke is obligatory.
Said it was easy. Come on.
Yeah, I thought it was. Ludwig from the Bloodborne DLC. From Dark. There's got to be one from Dark. There's probably not. from Dark Souls 2.
Artorias.
Artorias is definitely one. Artorias is
God,
definitely one.
Artorias.
Artorias is good.
And for the last one, honestly, probably Soul of Cinder
Nice.
from Dark Souls 3. Which, by the way, I cleared the first time I ever played it. It's right there on our YouTube channel if you want to see it. Gabe didn't believe it, but I put it up there for him and all the world to see.
Yeah.
Because when they tell you to get good, I don't need to get good because I am good. But those are my top 5 favorite Souls bosses. And an honorable mention to
Sir Alone. So good.
No.
Oh, you go in. There's like the sunset. It's like some epic samurai show
Okay,
zone.
fine.
It's like
all right, it's a tie then. It's a tie. Sir Alone and probably Calamite, the dragon.
nice.
I always thought Calamite was a great fight.
Oh, what was her name in the Bloodborne DLC?
Lady Maria. How did I
Oh
not know
my
Lady Maria,
God,
dude?
so good.
Lady Maria. That was a huge oversight on my part.
There's too many good ones.
Dude, like everything in Lady Maria's boss fight, from like the music to like the setup, and then when you realize that she's actually like the doll, or she's like the human incarnation of the doll that's sitting in the Hunter's Dream. Like, dude, I could talk all night about the lore and the implications in the Bloodborne DLC. That's because that's just how fucking nerdy I am. But yeah, I'll stop there because now if we start going down the Souls path, you won't hear the end of it.
All right, we'll bring you back off Souls, back over to Destiny. What character are you on? What's your light?
I'm a Titan. Come on, what the hell kind of question is that? I'm a Titan, and right now I think my
And
light
do
is
you
like.
only have a Titan? Is that the only character you've leveled up, or?
Yeah, because I mean.
What
why not,
Destiny
right? Like, look at that.
fan
Of
has
course I'm a
only
Titan.
one
Of
character?
course I'm a Titan. Look at this. Does this look like a warlock to you? But no,
I'm a warlock,
seriously,
bro.
seriously, I'm a Titan. I think my light level is like 320.
Okay, well, no, that's cool. That's cool. I've already leveled out my my hunter. I've moved on to the Titan now. Once I max him out, I'll get my warlock sorted. I'm hoping to have all three sorted before Rise of Iron comes out.
Ooh. in all
But
seriousness,
do you even Destiny, bro?
in all seriousness, though, like trying to level up to light level 335 is frustrating as hell. It's really
it can be, but you've got to go through this systematic approach to it every week. Like you need to be doing the Fallen King raid. Like you've got to do it every week. You've got to do the challenging elders. Like you just have to. You've got to go into the Court of Oryx and farm those engrams. Like there's just stuff you've got to do every week. And yeah, it's painful as hell. But you want to get to that 335. You've got to do that grind, son.
I just want to point out real quick in chat, people are throwing all kinds of Dark Souls bosses that I missed, like the Nameless King and the Dark Lurker, and yes, I'm sorry guys, there's too many. There's too many.
Is so hyped the way he like shifts around.
I know, there's too many to name. But okay, so yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. And I kind of want to move into a topic I wanted to talk to you guys about because there's been a lot. So it's Gamescom week. And there's been a lot of game trailers have come out, and there's a lot of talk about games that are coming out. And the two games I wanted to focus on, really just as an example for what I'm about to bring up, are Final Fantasy 15 and Resident Evil 7. And there's been a lot of consternation being thrown around about these games due to the fact that each game has kind of like a huge sea change for that particular franchise. I mean, Final Fantasy has kind of moved away from the traditional turn-based. I mean, and like. It started with 12, and it kind of continued with 13. It was a little more action-based, and now 15 has dropped all pretense of an active time battle system, and it is a full-on action RPG now. And then Resident Evil 7 has moved away from the third-person perspective, and you're looking at a first-person game now with a much larger emphasis on horror once again this time around. And a lot of people, especially on places like Reddit and NeoGAF and Twitter, I've seen a lot of people say, well, this isn't my Final Fantasy, this isn't the game I grew up, because it's not a role-playing, it's not a turn-based RPG anymore. Well, this isn't my Resident Evil because, now it's just an Outlast hiding game. Or Resident Evil isn't supposed to be, first person. This isn't some kind of first-person shooter. So I wanted to ask you guys, and anybody in chat as well, are these two series that need... Because I've maintained for a long time that Final Fantasy and Resident Evil are two great examples of games that need the formula shaken up a little bit. But not everybody sees it that way, and I wanted to throw it out to you guys all at once, and anybody in chat as well who wants to pipe in. What do you guys think about all this? Are these games that need the status quo shaken up, or do you feel like they're changing too much?
I think it's crazy when people talk shit on Resident Evil 7 because I grew up with fixed cameras, so like we've already done the change from Code Veronica to Resident Evil 4. Like this is nothing new. And I think for a franchise to be relevant and to stand the test of time like Resident Evil has for 15 years now, I think it's risky, and I respect them trying to do something new. I love it. What's the point of playing it safe, Because they kind of beat the horse dead with Resident Evil 6, in my opinion. I think it's easily the worst mainline Resident Evil. I don't want to have that discussion, but it was misguided. It was taking the worst parts of Resident Evil 4 and 5 and emphasizing on it, like explosions, action, and it took itself so seriously, and it was just a dull game. Dull encounters, dull story, and I think Resident Evil 7 is a great way to refresh, but at the same time, they're not just saying, oh, well, screw all you people that have been with us for so long, we're going to reboot it. Like, this is still Resident Evil 7. We are carrying this story and this legacy forward.
There's still going to be Umbrella.
Yeah, there's going to be references, there's going to be callbacks. Yeah. There's still green herbs, so it's awesome that they're not...
The shotgun picture, yeah. And they're green, I love it.
They're still green. They're still green.
Yeah. So it's like the best case scenario to refresh it, to take a chance, to do something new.
I have faith.
And to go back to the roots, so to speak, with the horror emphasis.
And John, I don't think you mentioned it, but kind of in the same vein of that, I think God of War speaks the same way to me. What they did with that.
That's a good example.
Like I love God of War 1, 2, and 3. I didn't play Ascension mostly because I was just kind of burnt out on it. But I was ready for God of War 4, just like the first 3. I would have been hyped for that. But then I saw what they did with it, and I was like, I did not expect this. But this looks awesome. Like it's new, everything feels fresh again. But like Hubert said, you still have the same. It doesn't disregard all the previous fans. Like you still have Kratos there, but they've kind of changed him. He's different, and it'll bring in new people, but you still keep the old ones. And I think that's really important. And I think they're doing it right. We'll see what the end result is. But that's a franchise I love, and yeah, you can't do the status quo forever. You gotta try something different, or you'll go extinct.
Well, I mean,
that's right. So it's the COD syndrome, right?
It's a what syndrome?
It's the COD syndrome. The COD syndrome. Everybody complains that they love Call of Duty, but this Call of Duty isn't great because it's not the previous Call of Duty. It's the COD syndrome. Everybody wants the same thing every year, but they don't want the same thing. They want something different. But then when they got something different, they want something that they had last year because it's not the thing that they had last year, but they don't want you to copy and paste it. And so, yeah, it's the COD syndrome.
Yeah, that's me. I started playing Call of Duty right from the first one, and that's me. Like, I want something new, but every time they keep coming out with new, I'm like, I really liked it when it was World War II.
It reminds me so much of Metal Gear Solid 4. When Metal Gear Solid 4 came out, a lot of people were pissed because it was so different than 3. It wasn't 3. It was so different than 1, 2, and 3. And then when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, everyone was like, oh, well, it's not 4.
Yeah.
Like, then there were all these, like, 4 all of a sudden got so hyped.
Well, bringing it back to Resident Evil, I mean, like, people complained, till the cows came home that Resident Evil, like, you fucked up Resident Evil 6, or you fucked up Resident Evil, not 6. It's time to bring it back to the roots and make it scary again and get rid of this bro shooter stuff and a more intimate experience. So they made it first person. They brought back the horror stuff, and people were like, "You fucked up Resident Evil," and I'm like, like I don't what? Like what the hell are you talking about?
The major concern is that people think it's just going to play like Outlast and Amnesia.
I've heard that.
That's not going to be the case. Like it's not. It won't.
They haven't. They should. I know they're keeping it super mysterious, and that is awesome because there's so many questions. But they should show some kind of combat because the difference between Resident Evil 7 and Amnesia and Outlast is that you get guns. You get a pistol, you get a shotgun, you're going to be blasting people away. Like Amnesia and Outlast, you run and hide.
Those aren't real survival horror games.
Yeah.
No. I agree. Like I love the mystery, but we need at the end of the next trailer, 5 or 10 seconds, after the title, and then it comes back and they pick up a weapon, and then it just ends, something like that. That would get me so jacked up.
I want to see what the combat looks like. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, you can see tiny little bits of it in that original E3 trailer for Resident Evil 7. You can see him aiming a 9mm or something. Whoever the main character is, I don't know. What
I'm hoping is that it's so awesome that they're just keeping it super secret.
But everything they've showed us so far, those are diaries or something, right? Like we haven't.
Yeah, they're side stories. They're side stories. Yeah.
They have not. They have confirmed that they have not even shown the main game.
Right. Okay.
So apparently,
interesting.
So according to what I've heard, there are. It's not just the plantation in Louisiana that you're playing on. Like there's a forest, there's a city, there's an abandoned highway. So it's not just that plantation, which makes me feel good. But even with the plantation, I loved kind of the old Spencer Mansion feel. Mm-hmm. Of being back in this abandoned place again and not knowing what's around the corner and I recently replayed Resident Evil HD remake for the billionth time. I play Resident Evil is one of those games I play annually, and it still holds up, and I'm glad that we're getting a Resident Evil that's going back to its roots, and honestly, yeah, I mean, I don't understand. There are a ton of people complaining right now, precisely about what Brandon just said, and the fact that people are saying, "Oh, it's Outlast and it's Amnesia, and all you're doing is hiding." But Capcom, in my opinion, has made it abundantly clear that that is not the case. I mean,
anybody who's played that short what was it, like a little preview thing where you go through the house?
Episode
of the
0
upcoming?
or whatever it's
Right.
called.
Yeah. Okay. So anybody who has played that has felt literally sitting in their lounge room, the fear in the pit of their stomach, and was petrified to move their character around the next corner or to walk upstairs and see, it's like, no, that mannequin was not there. That ship was not there a second ago. Like, anybody who has experienced it, you cannot critique it until you have played that little demo. That shit makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. And that isn't even the VR version of it. When you think about the fact that this is to segue you into the VR version, and you're getting that response from it, like I anticipate that there are going to be people that are going to have heart attacks playing that in VR.
I'm not playing Resident Evil in VR. Fuck that.
What?
You don't think that would be awesome?
No, I think it would be awesome. I think it would be as long as they can fix the vomiting problem, because apparently people are vomiting playing
I heard about
VR.
that.
Well, it's an issue with the frame rate.
It's an issue with the frame rate of the controller.
I had the chance
and the game itself as well.
I had the chance to play the VR version at E3.
Ooh, tell us.
It was
petrifying.
It's pros and cons. There's such a lower resolution that it's like pixelated still, kind of. When you crouch down, you don't go into a crouch. You just like all of a sudden are like crouch down.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, but again, it's more immersive, I guess you could say, because like you're in the game. But there's some like visual stuff that almost kind of negates the immersion. It kind of takes me out of it. So yeah, but again, that was in June, and a month of development time is so much.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've got to look at these experiences before they come out as a full-blown thing, as alphas and betas and even pre-alphas, because we all know as gamers, we can't judge a game off its alpha or its beta, and it's the same with a new peripheral like a PS VR or Oculus or whatever it might be. We're getting a taste of what it's going to be like, so we can get an idea of what we can expect, but it's not going to be the end product.
E of the Dead in chat says the demo wasn't very pretty, even non-VR. I have to agree. I have to disagree with you, E of the Dead. I thought the Resident Evil 7 demo was really good looking.
I didn't play it. How did it look compared to PT?
PT absolutely looks better.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. And don't even get me started. Like, can you imagine playing PT in VR? Holy crap!
PT was way.
Oh my god! Even Outlast in VR. Like, I can't even do that
there's no way
at
I
night
do it
without VR.
No, Outlast almost gave me a heart attack multiple times over.
Oh my god, it's so bad. So I've played it in a party with my friends before at night when they've been playing other stuff, and you're like, you know what? It's dark. I've got the lights out. You guys aren't talking much. I'm going to play myself a little bit of Outlast and get a bit further through this. And so everything will be quiet, and then 5 minutes later, all they'll hear is, and they're like, oh shit, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, no, it's okay. It's just I'm playing Outlast.
There's a giant nude man with a machete coming toward me. Like,
he's trying to cut off my finger, and it's not good.
Yeah, forget that. But so like, I want to know what you guys think about the changes coming to Final Fantasy 15 as well, and because there's, that's another game that is kind of seeing a fundamental shift in gameplay. And I would assume that most of us have played either the episode Duskai demo or the Platinum demo.
I've only played the Platinum demo.
I played them both.
I sure as hell wasn't buying Final Fantasy Type 0.
I'll admit I bought Type 0 just for the Final Fantasy 15.
I bought it too.
Yeah, there you go, Gabe. See, yeah, boom, fist bump, buddy. Yeah, I'm right there with you. And there are a lot of people playing it at Gamescom this week, and something really interesting actually that happened was so there was a 50-minute gameplay video is spliced from different segments of the game. It's kind of a rough vertical slice. The interesting thing is that apparently the demo is made up of Xbox and PlayStation 4 footage. Yeah. And which is a really weird decision, and there had been some people had noted that the demo looks much better in some places than it does in others. Well, somebody on GAF actually went through and separated the Xbox sections from the PS4 sections, and Gabe, I put the video on Twitter, and man, that Xbox version has to be running sub 720p. Gabe?
No.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
It looked really, really bad.
Ooh, Gabe is.
What?
Well,
You're a
scratch
little
it.
robotic.
It is
Dave.
like that.
Speaking
Oh,
of really
shit.
bad.
Again? No.
We can hear you. It's fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
kinda
cool.
cool. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Go ahead. You just sound like Darth Vader, but go ahead.
I think I read somewhere that this game has dynamic resolution.
Oh yeah,
Dynamic
it
resolution.
probably does. It probably does.
It makes sense because if you see this video, there are parts of the video where the image is better, but there are other parts where the video looks worse. You know, it's weird. Sometimes it looks really good, and sometimes it looks awful.
Gabe, I'm not gonna lie, buddy. You're coming in really broken, man.
I imagine.
You're coming in really broken. But I understand.
I did understand you.
I understand what you're saying, and so it's what I don't understand is if the Xbox One version is so far behind, and the PS4 version needs work too. Like let's not mince words. Like it does. I mean, some of those overworld textures are pretty rough. The game gets choppy in places, but what I'm wondering, and Mike, maybe you could shed some light on this, but if you're going to demo something, why not demo the best version of it? Splicing versions from a game or from a version of the game that is clearly superior to that on another platform seems like an odd choice to me.
The only thing the only guess I have is that there's some kind of deal with Microsoft or something to show their game. And they didn't want to show it just that version, so maybe they found a loophole where they could show it with PlayStation 4. Because I've never even heard of a game I don't know any other instances where they've shown a game like this with two different versions. It's bizarre to me.
Yeah.
I don't understand it myself. It's
Yeah,
really weird. But I wonder
everything about that game is so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah,
the
dude.
team,
Oh man, I can't believe this is
temper
the year.
temper your expectations, and
I have
Oh
faith
wait,
in
you
Tabata.
temper your expectations.
I
It's
have
Final
faith in
Fantasy
Tabata.
15. It's just not possible.
I have faith in Tabata.
Either that game comes out and it blows my mind, or it comes out and it's a disaster.
I'm super nervous about it.
There is no middle ground.
The E3 Titan demo was so
bad.
rough.
Yeah, that was the one they showed at the Microsoft conference, right?
Oh
Yeah.
my.
That was when
God.
up until that I was like, okay, because I was all on board after their reveal event. I was like, all right, this looks good, I'm in. Then I played the Platinum demo, and I was like, that wasn't good, but I'm still in. Then I saw the Microsoft one, and I was like, what are they showing?
And
Yeah, it was
two of my coworkers, Ben Moore and Michael Damiani, they had a chance to play it at Judges Week, and this was right before E3. And again, it's so early. Well, technically it's early. I don't know. They've been making this game for 10 years, but they played it, and when they came back, they were like, "Dude, this game is rough.
And that's what I'm hearing.
Buggy."
Like,
And what's even more bizarre is that the episode Duske demo runs way better, plays way better, looks way better than the main game build that they played. So
That's kind of what my impression was from episode Duske. I was like, this game right here is awesome. I just want this extrapolated into a full game, everything. But then I saw the Xbox footage, and I'm like, this is a giant hand sweeping back and forth. This is dumb. I don't want this.
It's just a giant hand going back and forth. It's just Titan waving his hand back.
And there was something it was hold wide a warp or something over and over and over.
And I know it's two different genres, and I hate comparing it, but you look at something like God of War 3, which came out so long ago, with that Chronos fight and the way they handled scale, and even Scalebound to a sense, that didn't blow a lot of people away because it was kind of a weird demo, but just the scale of the giant boss that they did co-op, that was pretty cool. And then you just compare it to this.
Well, those ones, those games, they know they have to show you your character, but they try to. It does a really good job of pulling away at the right times, and you're seeing your character, but the focus is on the huge boss that you're fighting. And this one, it felt like I don't know. You were just staring at your guy getting driven into the ground, into the hand. Yeah.
So, I will say this: most of the press impressions that I've seen seem to be positive. You know, I linked Gabe a bunch of those because he says, John, you got to send me these positive impressions because I really need to see them. and so I said, so I linked him a bunch, and there are plenty of people on the show floor saying, yeah, you know, we enjoy it, we had a good time. There are some people who didn't have such a good time, but even in the positive impressions I've seen, there is one constant. And it's that this game absolutely needed the 2 months. Absolutely. Because they're playing the master version right now that they were going to release in September. And everybody...
I've heard bad things. Yeah.
No, Brandon, let me tell you, everybody who's played it has said, if this is the version, even saying, yep, there's so much potential here, if they can just lock it down. Having said that, if this was the version they had released, it would have been a fucking disaster.
You know, on the flip side of that, though, if they're saying the game is done now, and then we just saw that E3 stuff not long ago,
it's not. It doesn't.
Is this the point where I have to start preparing myself for the possibility that this game might be worse than Final Fantasy 13?
Yeah, prepare.
So like I said,
I'm seeing Kingsglaive Friday. I hope that's hype.
I'm seeing that tomorrow too, actually.
I've heard mixed. Some people really liked it. Some people didn't care.
The action seems to be good, so.
Yeah.
So it's like Final Fantasy. It's like Advent Children.
Yeah.
A stupid story.
So here's the thing. Like, I've said it multiple times, and I'll say it home. Tabata has a real reverence for the series, and so I believe he's taking it seriously. What I want to know is, you know, I'm almost more interested in the documentary on the making of this game than I am the actual game itself at this point. Just because, you know, if it does release and it's just garbage. Which I don't think is going to be the case, Brandon. So there's no need to hang yourself in the ceiling yet. Although I'm right there with you. I need this game to be good. Like, I'm a Final Fantasy junkie, and I need this game to be good. If it's not, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know.
I'm going to 12 HP if it's not good.
If this game sucks, the podcast of the week this game comes out is going to be something.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's a great point.
I hope we never get there.
If 7 Remake sucks, we'll never see Brandon again.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine if the 7 Remake is awful?
Do not invoke 7 Remake's name in vain.
Sorry, I just saw something really funny in the in our little private chat here.
Brandon, what do you think of 7's combat changing?
I'm all about it.
Cool.
SDGC, bringing folks together. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, nobody in chat has any idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I mean, somebody on GAF, and I think it might have been Kagari, said that the game needed, in her opinion, more than 2 months in the oven. But honestly, I have a strong suspicion, and you guys let me know what you think.
Has she actually played it? Is that just what she gathered from other people?
I think that's kind of what she's gathered. I don't think Kagari's played it. But
I don't know why people treat her like some sort of fucking god.
Her and I actually got into it on Twitter. You know, you don't know what a compressed screenshot is. I'm like, well, actually, yeah, no, I do. And that is one thing that has been frustrating me about Final Fantasy VII, or Final Fantasy VII, Jesus, but Final Fantasy 15, is the fact that a bunch of, like, people are throwing out these compressed screenshots on Twitter and saying, look at how shitty this game looks, and I'm like, okay, well, all right, that's a compressed screenshot, this happens every time. This happens every time there's a big game release. I have also heard people say, and again, I have not played the game, but I have heard people say it looks far better in motion than it does in screenshots. So take from that.
Man, some of those screenshots.
Rough.
I believe it because there's some games look really bad in stills. Like Drive Club has some awful screenshots, but in motion that game looks amazing.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of Drive Club where it's like, oh, it's not like anything like the amazing gifs of like the windshield wiper going back.
Yeah. No, like I'm not a racing guy.
In the game when it's raining, so good, and snowing.
Dude, I'm not a racing guy, and I play Drive Club. I can't talk tonight. I play Drive Club solely because it looks so damn good.
Coming to VR this year, just saying.
I won't be playing it on VR because I'm not buying PS4.
I will be. Day one.
So we're going to be getting you on the show at that point for your impressions, right?
Because they released a video of it today.
Not a problem.
They released a video
like,
of it today, and it looks so good. Like the guy was just so blown away that he wasn't even focusing on driving. It was like a full one-to-one thing. He's like, dude, this is amazing. Like I'm doing much better than I actually normally do with racing. And he was like, he couldn't stop looking around. He's like, dude, I can like look behind me. Like this is crazy. And that's what I'm excited about. I'm just like gonna get in.
VR, man. It helps so much with cornering too, like the depth perception.
Yeah.
I want to buy a PSVR just for Res Infinite.
I want to buy a PSVR for Res and then
Fucking Res, dude.
And then get really
Res.
stoned.
It's
and then
Res.
Right. Like I can't do that because of my job, but still.
Res is just a classic, an absolute undeniable classic.
I have to stop my
Yeah, you can't go past it. It's just one of those go-to games. Yeah.
You're
always gonna
you can boot up
cycle back
Res any year, any day, and it's fucking Res.
I want to.
Yeah, it's still
It's
fun.
pure. Yep.
You know what you're gonna get. You know, you go into it knowing that you're gonna get a certain experience out of it that is gonna be fulfilling, and you're gonna enjoy your time, and you're not gonna walk out of that 2, 3, 4, 5 hour gaming stint feeling like you were let down, because Res it always delivers.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody say they didn't like Res. Only that they've never played it.
You never will. And if you see anybody or you meet anybody who says they don't like Res, they don't like video games. That's just a fact. It's a fact. Sorry for anybody who doesn't like Res.
Circling back around to where this started from, the screenshots thing, for example, one of the big examples that I always use when it comes to people who have this issue with, oh, well, the screenshots look like this and they look like that. And okay, so when you're watching YouTube, it looks fantastic, right? But you freeze it, and it looks like shit. Like it doesn't give you an actual proper imagery of what the game is, or the trailer that you're watching, or the movie that you're watching, whatever it might be. You can't judge a game on a screenshot, people. Like, stop with that already.
Well, but I mean, you're not going to stop. That's just the gaming community. I mean, it's full of hyperbole. But I mean, it's one of those things where, like, for example, here's a really good example. And somebody in chat brought this up. Like, there are people on Twitter throwing around, like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy 15 looks like a PS3 game. Okay, come on, no, it doesn't. I mean, like, I've seen gameplay, and it doesn't. Come on, that's hyperbole. It doesn't look like. I'm not saying the game doesn't need work, and apparently it absolutely needs every single minute of those 2 months that it's been delayed. But it doesn't look like a friggin' PS3 game. Come on, that's silly. I don't know. I don't like that kind of attitude. But that's just me. We've actually got somebody.
Do you think, as a gaming community, that we expect too much from everything?
Absolutely.
And that we put way too much pressure on.
Look at No Man's Sky.
Yeah, like we put way too much pressure on developers and publishers and games and anything that gets given to us now. We are so self-absorbed. All of us. We're all so self-absorbed in the experience that we expect to get out of every single minute that we spend online, that we spend way too much time identifying what's wrong with a game, as opposed to spending time focusing on what is right with the game and what we're enjoying about the experience that we're getting. And the community needs to move away from that. We need to stop feeling like we need to break down everything that doesn't work well about this particular experience and just focus on what is working well for us. Why are we enjoying this? What brings, what is it bringing to the table? What's different from this? What is keeping me here for the last 5 hours, even though I'm bitching about it, but I'm still here 5 hours later? Stop focusing on the negatives.
I think the other problem is that when something comes out and sets a new bar, people move to that standard, and everything else that isn't that good is suddenly a disappointment. Like of course not every game looks like Witcher 3, because Witcher 3 is like one of the best looking games ever made. That doesn't mean that anything that doesn't look that good is a disappointment. It's just reality.
Yeah.
If only the combat were as good as the visuals.
There we go.
There it is.
I'm just preaching truth, brother. That's all I'm doing.
Best video game marriages: Witcher 3 with Bloodborne, and Destiny with No Man's Sky.
Ooh,
yeah, I like that last one.
Yeah, just keep that Witcher 3 combat out of my Bloodborne, and we're all good.
No, other way around. Bloodborne combat in Witcher 3.
Oh, okay, there you go. Perfect. Perfect. That is a perfect.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing, and Bella makes a really good point. I honestly, I think that's the reason that No Man's Sky was received the way it was, right? Because that's partially our fault. That's partially the gaming media's fault. But honestly, I blame Sony more than I do anybody else for that.
They hyped the shit out of that.
They hyped the ever-loving.
No Man's Sky was not a game that deserved what it got at E3.
No.
Like, that's where all the hype came from. They showed it at E3, what, twice?
No, they screwed that game before it even got a chance to be what it is. That game should have been able to come in under the radar and just be its own entity be glorious as what it was, without everybody going, this is just going to be the most amazing thing ever, and this is a whole new platform. When it comes to gaming, it's been stepped up another level, and people go into this game expecting it to be the second coming of Christ. And that's not fair on the game or Sean Murray. It's not. It's not.
We've been talking about Destiny a bunch, and I think it's similar to Destiny because when Destiny launched, people had the same high expectations, and then they beat the game in like a weekend and were pissed because they were like, "Oh, there's nothing else to do.
It was so
what the hell? What is this game? I beat the campaign in like 4 hours. Now I just like do the same strike missions over and over." Yeah. And it took like a year, but with Taken King, like Destiny now is a legit game. Like it has completely changed. The side quests, there's so many more things to do.
It is. Oh my god! I could not agree with you more on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and if people are patient with No Man's Sky, like it is a good foundation. It is a good start. I can only imagine what No Man's Sky will look like in 6, 8, 10 months.
I really want that game to evolve because I remember that first E3 trailer where you're soaring down through the planet. There's these huge, majestic brontosaurus creatures. And these amazing, huge, just like lumbering behemoths rumbling through the landscape. And then you land on your first planet and you get this one T-Rex looking thing running across with like a tapeworm for a head, and it's like bumping into a rock. And I was like, this is like I'm having fun, but where's my there's like a little I got beaten to death by an Ewok, and I was like, okay, this is.
But as consumers, how do we mitigate that? As the people who sit here and complain and also praise these games, how do we mitigate the difference between what we expect to happen and what actually happens?
Stop
and what
pre-ordering games. That's how
that is
get
actually
this
a good
exclusive
starting
skin
point.
that nobody else will have until like a month after launch when it launches for $3.99 on the PS Store.
You know what? Everyone's to blame for pre-orders though. Like the pre-order exclusive bullshit. I don't blame people for wanting that. The retailers, the press.
We made this right for our own back though. We did this as a gaming community. We made this right for our own back. We want all the information now. We want to know everything that is happening with the game that's coming out. We want to know the release date. We want to know what the battle system is. We want to know what pre-order details we're going to have. We want to know what, whether we're going to be able to have a pink hat. Like, we want to know everything about anything that's going to be coming out before it's even coming out. We made this right for our own back. So now we're stuck in this cycle where we're given all of this information early on, and so then we get into this position where we're hyping up games because we have all of this information. We're begging for them to give to us, that they do give to us. And then we get into the game, and it's not what we expected because we're drip feeding. We're given these little pieces of information, and we form this opinion of a game that is, it's pieced together from all these different little bits of information we're given. It actually doesn't give us a proper depiction of what the game's going to be. And we made this right for our own back. We need to stop doing both and saying, I don't want to be in this position, but please give me all this information regardless. It's one or the other. We can't continue to do both.
It's depressing when you play a game, too, because think about the noise around No Man's Sky. Like, what if this were a game where you were in isolation, and you couldn't hear about any other people's stories, or you couldn't hear the hype or the hate or anything about it, and you were left to just discover the universe kind of on your own. And, I just think it's become, like, robotic, with all just the news and the guides out there of, like, how to get to the center of the universe the fastest in the quickest amount of time. Like, here's how to exploit the game to get all this money to be able to do this first. So it's like not even about playing it organically anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And publishing
like with
rights
early
and
access, too,
DLC rights and
Oh,
yeah.
God,
Sorry,
No Man-
you go.
Early access is something that No Man's Sky desperately.
Yeah, I mean, like what she was talking about before, the wanting stuff now, like the needing immediate gratification, that's manifested in early access releases that will allow these shady devs to be like, hey, here's an idea, give us money, we'll put a demo out, and then like maybe it'll form into a game. Like the market has allowed stuff like that too, and this is just like totally. 10 years ago, people would have been like, really? You're going to ask me to pay $40 for a unfinished experience? Yeah.
And not only that, but 10 years ago, would we have expected this? When we started off as gamers 10, 15, 20 years ago, depending on our age group, would we have expected this kind of exposure to a game that's coming out? Or we have blindly just gone out and gone, you know what, Crash Bandicoot, hells yes, I'm going to go buy that because I know it's a franchise that I absolutely love. We would not expect them to literally dissect the game in front of our face months before it came out and then also cop the brunt of the gaming community when they have to delay it for a month or two because it's not ready, because they had to give us a release date early on because we won't accept not having a release date. It's a ridiculous cycle, and we did this to ourselves.
Bella, you should join this podcast on the regular.
I can't say I disagree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the chat she's now the favorite, so we're all out of a job.
Like Bella's giving these really eloquent arguments about the gaming community and the the perception of games today, and we're all like, oh, video games good.
Fart jokes
good. Yeah, fart good. It's straight embarrassing. But no, I was moved by that, actually. I was moved on the spiritual level.
In the chat, Bella has taught us the Geck word for truth.
The Geck. Actually, somebody asked if Bella was crying. No, she has a sore throat. So no.
Yeah, no, sorry, gentlemen. I'm a little unwell. I've been unwell for a couple of weeks now, so that's why my voice keeps cutting in and out. But I appreciate you putting up with it. Thank you.
Jesse in chat says chug syrup, and I'll love you again, Jeff.
Okay.
I thought you meant cough syrup at first.
So I think
you want an episode where Jeff is tripping on robo tripping.
Jeff is going to be now that Jeff is back with us. He's gonna chug syrup one of these episodes. I guarantee it. It's going to happen.
I will throw up. You can't chug pure syrup.
But
no matter how Canadian you are.
But
it doesn't work.
So we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up here because we've hit our hour-and-a-half mark, and I don't want to get too long in the tooth. But I do want to point something out real quick. So to everybody in chat, we're going to have some shirts going into production here real soon. I think Redbubble is what we're going to use. We're going to do a limited run. I think the plan is to kind of gauge interest, and initially all the profits from the shirts we sell, we're looking at throwing towards a gaming charity. Maybe something like Able Gamer, which services, they do all kinds of stuff for disabled gamers. Guys who love games but can't, like for example, there's no controller that is suited for somebody with cerebral palsy, for example, and organizations like Able Gamer kind of alleviate that a little bit. And Bella actually has something she wants to say as well. So Bella, why don't you go ahead and roll with that?
Well, I was actually chucking that to you as a softball, but that's
no, please
cool.
Go ahead. No, roll.
So yeah, we have a bit of a surprise giveaway here for one of the listeners. We'd like to give away a copy of the Master Chief Collection on the Xbox One. So the first person who puts in the year that Halo first came out in the comment section wins the code.
Oh snap!
Well, Bella is definitely now the favorite.
Yeah,
just giving stuff out.
Yeah,
giving out free shit is a good way to.
Gifts.
Our viewers are all about free shit, so they And
That's the reason to this to it.
Did he get it right?
Somebody put 200. Is that 200 BC or?
Did he get it? 200 BC. Did he get it?
Playing too much Far Cry.
Is it 2000?
I thought it was 2001, but
Wait,
It's
what was the
2001.
Oh, okay.
What was the question?
She fed him the answer.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, what was the,
the Basement Radio Arcade
Enrique
podcast.
Enrique got it. Enrique
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, the B-Rap? Yeah, that's right, B-Rap.
The brap. Brian Altano stole it from Enrique. We're taking it back.
Yeah,
We're taking it back. But yeah, so awesome, Enrique. Congratulations on that. And actually, next week, keep your ears open, everybody, because I think we're gonna have a copy of Deus Ex: Mankind Divided to give away, digital code next week. So, snap, son!
What's that can come out on Tuesday?
Comes out on Tuesday, and that's why I'm taking off work on Tuesday. I'm gonna call and be like, I've got the backlog.
And in the meantime, you can start
podcast members
practicing pronouncing it as Deus.
Okay, so Deus Ex. I'm going to play some Deus Ex next week. Deus Ex.
Yeah.
But no, that is not open to podcast members. It's open to our audience. So no. Sorry guys, you'll have to be like me and go spend some money on it. I'll drop the 60 on it. But I mean, so I don't know if you guys heard, but Edge gave it a 9. And Edge is notoriously stingy with their score, so I'm expecting great things tomorrow. But yeah, so yeah, reviews drop tomorrow. So be on the lookout for those shirts, guys. It's our limited run is going to go to a good cause, and yeah, good stuff. Before we close it out here, Bella and Mike, it was a real pleasure having you on. We had a real good conversation. Mike especially, man, thanks for joining us, dude. We always appreciate you having you on, man. You do a lot of good things for the community, man, and we're all fans of Easy Allies and what you guys are doing over there. It's just couldn't be happier with the success you guys have found post-game trailers.
Thank you. Speaking of Deus Ex, we've been myself and Brandon Jones, Daniel Bloodworth, and Brad Ellis have been working for the last month on a Deus Ex retrospective.
What?
Which
it's been a long time.
Yeah, that was one of that was a big thing Game Trailers did back in the day. If you look up like Game Trailers retrospectives,
I love the GTA retrospective.
Oh man, the GTA. There's like a 4-hour Star Wars one.
There's much goodness.
Resident Evil retrospective is a really good one. But we did Deus Ex. It's gonna be 2 parts, and part 1 comes out Friday.
Nice.
So be ready. We each took one game, so I got the original because I'm a huge fan of the original. So part 1 is the first 2 games. That'll be on Friday. So check it out.
Sweet.
Yeah. No. It makes me wonder if JC Denton is ever going to show up in the new Deus Ex games.
My theory is that the prequel is the prequel games are a trilogy, and then in the next one after Mankind Divided, it'll kind of like bridge the gap closer to the first game.
Man, that's years away.
I
know.
I want Bob Page now, man. I want to mix over Bob Page. But dude, that's awesome. We're looking forward. Look at me go in chat says Day of Sex. Day of Sex. That's all I'm gonna call it. That's all. That's all that game. I love playing that game. Anyway, Bella, it was a real pleasure having you on as well. Even though you made us all sound like a bunch of cave trolls
Neanderthals
with your eloquent prose about the video games industry, it was a real treat having you on. I've been trying to get you on here for a while, and the fact that you were able to come on with Mike Huber at the same time is just icing on the cake. So thanks a lot.
No, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Unfortunately, you guys generally podcast while I'm at work. It's generally lunchtime for me when you guys go online. For me to be able to make the podcast is actually quite a feat. I'm generally well and truly in the middle of a work day at the moment, but because I've been sick this week, I get the luxury of being able to join you gentlemen. It's been an absolute treat. Thank you so much for having me here.
And absolutely, no, it was our pleasure. And as always, thanks to everybody in chat. It seems like everybody in chat really enjoyed this episode. It was great. A lot of positive comments.
The
in the chat.
Reviews are in.
The reviews are in. It's unfortunately, Gabe's mic.
They just wanted the information last week is all. They wanted to know what we were talking about last week.
Yeah. This was a great
gamers, right?
This was a great episode. Gabe is being delayed till November due to his mic issues.
I look forward to the Chromecast video.
Gabe.
But his DLC will be available a week later.
Yeah. But no, as always, we have a great chat, and we love all you guys, and thanks for we have a really lively chat every episode. That's what I love about you guys, is that everybody's talking to each other the entire episode. I look over and that thing is just moving and moving and moving and moving. I love it. It's great. So anyway, guys, I won't keep you any longer. Thanks to everybody who showed up tonight. Thanks to everybody in chat. Be on the lookout for the Deus Ex retrospect from Mike and the gang. And also be aware, again, we're going to be giving away Deus Ex Mankind Divided next week. I'm going to put a poll out on Twitter whether or not you guys want PS4 or Xbox, and you guys can decide. And please comment, rate, subscribe, tweet us out, spread the word. We're awesome, and we'd love to kind of grow our audience just a little bit. Don't want to get too big. And as always, we don't always agree, and it's not always poetry, but here at SDGC, we always keep it real as hell. And until next week, we will see you guys later. Happy gaming.
Oh, John! Whoa, John!
What's going on?
You gotta plug our sister podcast.
I do. What the hell am I thinking? Okay, don't forget.
What happened to B-Rap?
Don't forget. Don't forget, man. Brandon saved my ass. Brandon saved my ass. Don't forget to tune into our sister podcast every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Basement Radio Arcade podcast, which is the second best gaming podcast in House Neutral. It's the second best. They're amazing. It's amazing stuff. Enrique's in chat right now. Please go subscribe to them. Seriously. Enrique does amazing things for the community. He's a true bro. He's a true gamer. And B Money and Eric are, and myself, because I'm on the podcast as well. Just awesome guys. So please go subscribe to them. Our sister podcast. Brandon with the save. That was good job. That was tight. That was a good save, man.
Gosh, that was a close one.
I know, right, man?
Your finger was on the button. I could feel it. Your finger was on the button.
Dude, it was. I was hovering over stop broadcast, and I was like, you yelled it. I was like, dude, I almost had a heart attack. It was like PT. I was like, what?
It was like Spider-Man stopping the train in Spider-Man 2.
All right, guys. Now that that's done, we'll end it here. We will see you guys. Oh, and don't forget, we're going to be streaming Titanfall 2 this weekend.
This has been another SDG podcast.
I want you to say that in exactly that tone at the end of every episode from now on. Please, we need a little culture on this.
We'll take it in MP3 form.
Yeah, seriously, just send it to me, and we're gonna play that. Anyway.
This is why I do voice acting for Blind Hotel.
Perfect.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Night.